Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise. My name is Jason. Welcome to this whiskey review here on the channel. And today we've got something very exciting. It's Halloween, so I want to firstly wish you all a happy Halloween. And I wanted to review something a little bit dark and mysterious. And that's exactly what we have here in the form of Bruichladdich Black Art 4.1 1990. So also, this is actually linked, and this is actually to say a thank you to Jez, who's one of my patrons, and also co-founder London Whiskey Club, which I'll leave over there. But there's a certain thing on my actual Patreon where if you're on my certain tier system, you get to choose what I review on the channel. And Jez selected the 4.1, and he actually also even sent me the bottle of this one. So I said, you know what? It'd be quite cool to actually review the 4.1 with the 5.1, and then also get the 6.1. So I'm going to review the 5.1, and I haven't been able to see the 6.1 here in the UK yet, but when I do, I'll get my hands on that and we can do a full review of those. And I'm going to review the 5.1 as well along with this, which I'm really excited for. So the Black Art, what is it? It's a 23-year-old whiskey from the 1990 vintage for this specific 4.1. And it was the last creation from Jim McEwen before he left the Bruichladdich distillery. This one is bottled at 49.2% ABV. And in terms of the cask selection, it's not a single cask, but it is a combination of different casks, a combination, in my opinion, a couple wine casks maybe as well, that Jim McEwen married together and he created the Black Art. And he's got a little book where he wrote the recipe, and only him and him alone will know about it. There is the new master distiller that's taken over from Jim McEwen and who created the 5.1, and his name's Adam Hannett, and his recipe will be completely different as Jim McEwen ripped out one of the pages before handing him this book, and it's going to be really exciting to see how that one also compares to this. So in terms of the distillery itself, it's from the Bruichladdich distillery. They are owned by the parent company, Remy Cointreau, and they are located on Islay, Scotland. Now, this is also an unpeated expression from the Bruichladdich expression, from the Bruichladdich distillery. They do have Octomore and Port Ellen. But this one here, at the bottle price, is £225 for the bottle, which is rather pricey. Now, is it exclusive? Yes, it is. I actually read up and I saw that, I think it was on Whiskey Base, they said it's limited to 6,000 bottles and there is no caramel colouring in this one. So it is very limited in that respect. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the nose. I'm looking forward to this one. Into the nose. Wow. So starting us off on the nose, and this is something I can just go and nose continually. Goji berries, red currant, raspberries, red apples, rhubarb, even a little bit of vanilla cream. It's got a bit of texture on this nose. It's very complex. There's even a little bit of like a vanilla custardy character on the nose. As if you've made fresh custard, you've let it sit and it's cooled down and you're just smelling that soft, sweeter aroma of the vanilla custard. Maybe even a custard tart. There is a little bit of these dark, dried figs. And without a shadow of doubt, there is even a little hints of cherry just in the background. Wow, this is very well integrated because I'm just finding all these different layers in this whiskey. And it's one that you can just continually keep going and nosing, which I just love in the Black Art. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into the palate. Slanger. Arrival onto the palate, you're greeted by a nice, luxurious, full texture, silky mouth coating character from the Black Art. It does have a little crackle of this white peppery spice, starting things out as we're going to go now into a symphony and of a flavor profile. And it sort of starts us with a little bit of what reminds me of blackcurrant jam, where you get this nice sweeter presence, but at the same time that little tarty character coming through. It then goes into a citrusy presence, and it's like citrus peel, orange peel, grapefruit peel, but more of those orange or citrus oils coming through from the peel on the palate. A little bit of baked character, baked orchard fruit, but maybe baked pears with a bit of sweeter, almost like brown sugar melted in together with it. And then you go into this little bit of a chocolatey character. And for me, it's exactly like chocolate raisins. I remember buying these chocolate raisins. As soon as you chew into them, you get that little bit of that dried fruity presence. But then it's over the top, that sweetness of luxurious chocolate, really just coating everything on the palate. This has got so much going on the actual palate. I'm going to go back for a second sip. So we're going to see what other notes we can find on that. On our second sip, And this whiskey's just got me smiling because when those flavors sink into your jawline, it's just an incredible feeling. But you get those sherried fruits, you get a little bit of prunes, very ripe prunes, dates, and you're getting, after that, you do get a slight bitter character. To me, it's almost like black licorice, where you get that sweetness and then a little bit of bitterness just on the end. But the flavors on this one just keep going further and further, and I could be here for some time. So I'm going to get to the finish, and I'll come to my conclusion on the Black Art 4.1. So my initial impressions on the finish for this whiskey, this has a nice long finish where you get those sweeter characters of caramel, little hints of spice. For me, it's almost like aniseed. And then I go into this almost like a dried oak character, and it's accompanied by this almost like these dried apples as well, lingering all together. For me, this is one of those whiskeys that I just don't want the finish to end, and it just keeps going on, and you just want to go back to your glass, and you just don't want to go through the bottle, as it's not my bottle. So in terms of my actual rating for this whiskey, I was going to give this a 92. However, I rethought that, and I'm going to give it a 93, because this whiskey is something that I really love. I got to share a dram with this one up when I was in Glasgow at Roy Aquavitae, and me and him we saw it at a really good price on the bar, and we said, you know what, we're going to order 8 drams of this, and we had a couple of my friends there as well, and we just went for 2 drams each, and it was just an incredible whiskey. And for me, is it worth its price at $2.25? I have to say yes, because it's very masterfully created. I'm going to be interested to see how the 5.1 and 6.1 play out afterwards, but it's something, again, limited 6,000 bottles globally, and once it's gone, and that is the recipe from Jim McEwen. I'd love to know what it is, what's actually in this one, because I definitely know there's going to be bourbon barrels. I think there's going to be a few sherry, maybe even port. I've got a feeling there could be Madeira. That's where I was getting those bait characters, but overall, I could go on and talk a lot about this whiskey. I'm just going to end the video at that. I really like this whiskey. I'm giving it a 93 out of 100. Let me know your thoughts if you tried it down below in the comment section. But on that note, I'm going to leave the video at that. If you guys have enjoyed, drop it a thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe if you're new to my channel so you can stay up to date. And I want to say thank you also to Jez for lending me this bottle. This has been me, JasonWhiskyWise, Mr. Bananas, and we'll catch you for the next video. Slanger.